computer. All right, perfect. All right, guys, welcome to Globallee's presentation tonight. This is an overview. I do not represent corporate. I'm simply just another distributor. I'm a brand ambassador, and I plan to be an ambassador around the world representing the brand of Globallee. So that's just me, and you guys can call yourselves what you want. But ultimately, I'm here tonight because there's some amazing things that are going on, amazing relationships being galvanized and established around the world really quickly and efficiently, because we all have the same goal and aspiration to become something bigger than us, but because we want to be part of something with people that are better than us. And I'm just blessed and humbled to be surrounded by so many good people. And we've been extremely excited about what we're going to share with you tonight. To give you a background on me, and I'm going to start sharing my screen right now. Let's see here. Oh, here we are. And we'll push play. So let's see. There we go. Does that look good? All right. Can you see that, Jacqueline? All right. So if it's too big or is it distorted? No. We're good? I can't hear you, Noel. Are you okay, Noel? Can you see it? Okay, thank you. All right. So welcome to the overview tonight. What an overview is basically this is just going to be a quick 20-minute example or presentation of what we feel are the most valuable points to our company. It's kind of like a bird's eye overview. I'm not going to go into major detail of any particular subject. I'm basically telling you what subjects we have to offer and why I chose Globallee and why is it so exciting for me and for the people that I share it with. Globallee is just a simple startup company. We are established here in Texas, and we expect to share with you tonight some of the things that are basically making us a unique and a proprietary opportunity. Probably the best opportunity I feel. So first, let me explain why I chose Globallee and give you a little background on me. I don't know about you guys, but I have a family, you know, and I like to spend time with my family. I like to spend time with these kids, and I'm really proud of them. They've done some amazing things. I've been truly blessed with 3 beautiful girls and 3 beautiful boys. You can try to find my wife in there somewhere because she just blends in with the kids. I'm the old fart that has the beard and fat guy on the left. But I'll tell you right now, we do things as a family as much as possible. And I'll tell you, there's nothing you can do to get your time back. You can always earn more money. You can always get more food. You can always get a bigger house or a smaller house, but you can never get your time back. And these kids grow fast. And so I firmly and strongly tried to do a lifestyle that I'd be there for my kids. I didn't want my kids coming home from school and have nobody there to greet them. I didn't want them leaving the house to go to school and having no one there to send them off. So that was one of my biggest aspirations as a young man, is trying to become a father and find a career path that will enable me to be that home dad. I can go to work and I can do things, but I just want to make sure that they didn't have to have a key to get in the home when they got home. So let me explain why Globallee has solved some of those problems for me. I'm a chemist. I was in the semiconductor industry. I did cars. I was in a car dealership and automotive detailing. I've owned 5 companies personally. 4 of them have been very successful. One, I fell and lost everything and had to pick up all the pieces and start over again. And when I did, I got into the semiconductor space. About 11 years after that, I found a network marketing opportunity. And just so you guys know, my experience or belief in network marketing wasn't the greatest. I thought they were pyramid schemes. I thought, you had to be at the top to make any money. And I always told people that pitched me on them, I said, either I'm going to own the product or own the company, and that's the only way that I'll get involved in network marketing. And I was actually hitting up a gentleman that was supposed to help me with a loan to buy my partner out. And lo and behold, he was a retired network marketing millionaire. And I could not believe that he was starting another network marketing company. And I don't know if you guys have heard the saying from Jim Rome, good for the person that makes $1 million. Better for him to lose it because he knows how to make it, and he'll do it again, but he'll bring people with him. I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly. And this man was actually being contracted to take a company from retail sales to a network marketing space the day before I met him. And so that intrigued me. I became an investor of the company, and then I started throwing people in it. I had no intention of wearing a button on my shirt that says lose weight now, ask me how. I had no intention of putting banners on my car saying work from home. All the tacky stuff in the industry that I can't stand. I didn't want that to be me there. So I was just an investor, and I threw people in quietly. 18 months later, I had 10% of the company sitting underneath me, and my upline was saying, if you don't support these people, they're all going to go to the wayside. I'm like, support nothing. I'm not going to do any hoorah-rah festivals. I'm not drinking your Kool-Aid. And he proceeded to tell me, no, we just need to help people. And he mentored me to the concept of, hey, it's not about you, it's about them. And when we did that and focused on people, we went to the top rank of the company 6 months later. Okay, so let me explain that experience to you. Was nothing to do with my talents, had nothing to do with me, but it had everything to do with the timing in which I got involved in that company. Because the company started becoming a main brand. It started becoming something everybody started talking about, and it hit 50 million in sales in that month after month. And once it did that, there was enough traction and enough trends to get people to want that product. So fast forward 10 years later, why am I not with that company? Well, simply placed, they went through a transition of 3 different owners and board of directors and CEOs. And I got, a taste of what it was like to sell your soul. And I couldn't stand for what was going on the back end. And I know people are going to hear this that know me in that company. They're going to say, whatever you're saying, whatever you want to say. And I'm telling you right now, no, I'm not. It's sadly enough. And because I knew too much, the writing was on the wall. So the reason why I only share that with you is because now, 2 years later, I've been looking for something that I could actually 100% trust. And this is the main reason why I got involved, is I met the owners. I met their intentions, their purpose, their quality of their products, the quality of their decisions, the desire of where they want to take it, the fact that they weren't money driven, they were purpose driven, and it's culture. And I'll tell you right now, there's no games, there's no insertions. It's an equal playing field for the Susie homemaker that just started and never doing network marketing before, and the veteran leader that has experienced 20 years have no different advantage coming into this company. Okay, one might have more experience, but the other one might have a better influence on people. Okay, and we're not going to give anybody a leg up. We're not giving people organizations. We're not giving people money, right? That's not what this is about. So it's a clean company. It's got a strong culture. It's legacy leadership. It's real people. And we'd much rather work with somebody who has no experience than somebody who's going to bring in the wrong experience. And I hope that resonates with you guys. So if it does, then let's keep going forward. So what is it I'm looking for? I want you guys to understand that tonight I'm looking for either a 1, 2, or a 3. And what that means is, which one are you? Okay. A number 1 is a person that says, I want nothing to do with network marketing. I want nothing to do with your product. I was just enticed or promised something to be on this webinar tonight to be a number. That's fine. You're a number 1. Get your steak dinner and get out of here. Okay. That's fine. We understand that there's some people that just won't take the product. They won't understand what I'm trying to say, and they have zero interest in this at all. Then you're number 2. Maybe you're a number 2. We're going to find out tonight. A number 2 is the person that says, you know what, this sounds pretty good. I might want to try the product first before I make the decision. Well, that's fine too. Then we understand you're a product consumer. You have no intention on making money, and you have enough. That's fine. Well, we'll let you take the product. You'll swirl it around your mouth, start swallowing it. Taka later on will clear up your mind, and within 2 or 3 days, maybe a week, you'll make the decision you'll want to do the business too. Okay? Or you're a number 3, and hopefully I give enough information tonight where you say, you know what, I'm in, I get it, timing, what's $500? I'll put $500 in front of something just so it can yield me millions. What a great swing up that is, right? If you're a business and entrepreneurial minded, you're probably a number 3, and we're going to find out tonight if you're a 1, 2, or 3. It's just that simple, no pressure. We're just here sifting and sorting. So what I'd like to share with you guys tonight is there is one second, someone's saying something. Let me see what the chat is sometimes. All right, someone's a number 3. All right, Arthur, thank you. All right, so here's what happens. I want you guys to know something. Have you ever heard of the statistic that 90% of businesses fail? and only 10% succeed in the first 3 years, right? So 10% succeed and 90% fail. What would you rather learn from, the 90% or the 10? It's just that simple. So I'd rather learn from the 10% as well. So what that came from, believe it or not, has nothing to do with network marketing. It's called the S-curve. And everybody's heard about the S-curve. And the S-curve came from a guy who studied 60,000 companies over 30 years, okay? And wouldn't you like to know what he was able to derive or learn from that? Well, number one thing he said, first off, is you have to have 5 things in common. You guys see company, product, transit time, and compensation. He realized that if you're missing one of those 5 components, you're part of the 90%. You will fail. You could have the best product, the best company, the best timing, but you could have no profit margins, and guess what? You're out of business before it starts. So let's start with company first. What do we have in Globallee as a company that sets us apart, that makes us unique? First of all, I'd like to talk about our industry experts. Mark McKnight has been a product formulator in and outside the industry, and has developed over $10 billion worth of products worldwide, okay? He is a formulating expert. In fact, there are still 70 network marketing companies currently using his products. And the crazy part about it, his products are the top 5 selling products in each one of those companies. Lamia is another founder. She's another investor of this company. And what Lamia has been able to do, Lamia has been able to grow a company from nothing to a $15 million income, okay? A $15 million check, never doing network marketing before, coming from a third world country, okay? The third person here, Taka Kazan, is, and I'll tell you how these 3 people got together. Nader's been a systems guy. He's been the guy that helps companies go into countries. He's been the guy that in the background of launching $1 million brands and helping them get their start in the industry. So Mark, believe it or not, had a very successful company, but every time he would make a product, the more and more later it got into competition or money, the more they would ask him to compromise some of his formulations just to put the label and have that ingredient on the label. And then they would go, you know, Mark would say, it's not going to have the effect on the people. And he actually had a CEO said, it doesn't matter what's in it, just make it taste good, we'll sell it. Okay. At that point, he's at a conflict of his integrity. He's at a conflict of compromised decisions. And he's like, I can't support this industry. I can't support these people anymore. So he basically said, I sell the company. And he had a non-compete, well, a contract to support that transition as he phased himself out. So he doesn't need the money from a network marketing company, but he had the dream of creating great products. Well, Lamia at the same time had the dream. As she built that huge organization, that huge income, and invested it wisely, she found out the hard way, like I did, that sometimes you get to the top of the company, you realize who you're in bed with. She left that company on principles, fell in love with Mark, and for 3 years have been trying to do something with Mark. Nader has always been doing product registrations for Mark in multiple countries, and finally Mark has a free agency. He's like a free agent, and everybody wants him, and Nader's like, Mark, let's do business together. So Mark finally says, you know what, Lamia and Nader, you guys need to meet each other, hash it out, come up with something. I think I have a product. So there you go, guys. That's how Globallee got its start. A couple months later, I get introduced to Mark. We decide to do this thing. I am about 90% committed. And I'll just tell you one other thing that helped me make that decision is I went and interviewed with, I talked with Mark. We walked through the facility. And I said, with all these margins, Mark, we're going to make a fortune. And I said, we could really make a good product since we own the growers, we own the manufacturing, the raw goods, the blending, the formulations, and the outcome, and the shipping. And he's like, you can look at it that way, Jeremy, like we can make money, or you can look at it as if we can put more ingredients in our products. We can make better products for less money, which will in turn give people an experience that they're going to come back for. And when he said that to me, I was like, wow. A CEO that really gets the bigger picture, that blew me away. So now I'm about 95% committed. And then on this list here, Christopher Prey, he ended up working at Amazon for 10 years. And the interesting part about Chris is he was bringing all these systems over, and he was talking to us, and he said, you know, Jeremy, the thing that I am interested in most about Globallee is because I could take all these best practices, not better, not biggest, but best practices and implement them here. And I said, tell me what you mean. And he goes, well, for example, Amazon always obsessed on customers. They never wanted to lose a customer. I'm like, yeah, because the customer's always right. And he goes, no, no, no. Customer's not always right, but we better evaluate what we're going to lose with this customer to keep them to come back and buy again. It's an investment. He goes, so we're going to obsess about customers. And what we see here with Globallee is that you as the distributors are our customers, and we're going to obsess over you. We're going to make sure you get everything you deserve. And maybe there's going to be a lose-lose situation, but we're never going to lose you. And when he said that, and he says, we're going to put the distributor first, I was blown away because this is coming from our CFO. This is the one that cuts the checks. And I simply asked him, so you're prepared to cut me $1 million check a month? And he says, of course. That means our systems work. And I've heard that before, but when I heard what he wants to do and what he's bringing to the table, guys, we are outside the industry box already. Now, here's the crazy part about Globallee, the company, is not only are they launching the US, they're launching 13 other countries simultaneously. There are companies with 8 years under their belt, 10 years under their belt that aren't even registered in these countries yet alone have 7 distribution hubs centered around the country. I mean, centered around the world, globally. Thank you, Nader. Okay? So guess what, guys? We're launching in multiple countries. We're already registered to do so. There are some countries that are open and ready for business where we don't even have a distributor on site yet or on the ground. Okay? So let me tell you right now, this is a phenomenal, phenomenal company. This little litmus test of 5 components, you must have a company with integrity decision makers. You must have capital to make takes money to make money. You must be able to scale correctly and have the guidance, direction, and experience to keep you from making the wrong decisions, which will impede your growth as the demand provides itself. So, guys, I promise you right now, we have a company. That's why I checked it off. The next thing you got to talk about is pure products. What makes a product unique? If we were selling 8-track cassette tapes right now, even if they had gold ribbons, even if they were awesome and vintage, there is a very limited market who would buy an 8-track cassette tape. So what you want to look at is Taka is our #1 product. This is what we're launching with first. And Taka has aloe vera, ionic minerals. It has hibiscus. Okay. What's neat about this product is it's got all these most powerful ingredients. There's 38% more active ingredients in Taka than in any other energy drink in the market space, in and outside the industry, based on volume of a 16-ounce consumption rate, okay? 16 ounces of water mixed. So think about this, guys, for a second, okay? We have a product, and I'm going to tell you how this product evolved, okay? There's a thing called rhodiola rosea, okay? And Mark, when he had his last company, he had one of the farms ramp up production in Canada for the demand he was planning on creating. Then he sells the company. The demand was gone. All right, you guys want to know how Globallee started? It's not that fanfare fruit that lives in the Amazon jungle that we found some story to create. It's just a simple story about integrity and commitment. And Mark told this farmer that he would ramp up his acreage, 70, I don't know how many more acres, grow more rhodiola, we'll buy it and we'll consume it. And then Mark was laden with that burden. So he called up the farmer and he says, don't worry, I sold my company, but I'll still make a drink related to this ingredient and we'll build around it. He started building Taka around rhodiola. He found aloe, he found ionic minerals. I mean, there's many more, guys. And what ended up happening is he created a product that was so inspired on integrity. Okay, it doesn't get any better than that. So when Lami and Nader came together and said, Mark, you know, we're ready to do this business. We think we came up with a comp plan. Mark says, I've got the best product. So Taka, guys, just so you understand, it's already been under scrutiny with an FDA-approved study where they look at the inflammation that's caused in the cardiovascular system. And what they were able to find is Taka has reduced the cardiovascular inflammation in a clinical trial, 40+ patients over 30 days, an 82% reduction across the board. Okay, those studies are now coming out, and we will have access to those reviews. Okay, the next question I have is, what about not only does Taka do amazing things, it was based on one of the best, most flavorful, top-selling products in the market space. So the next question I have is, what about HGH? So our next product that is coming out right now, our second product is HGH. Now, it is not the hormone. Don't get it confused with injectables, okay? This is a revolutionary product. There's 3 patented formulations within its product itself, okay? It's science-backed. It's got peer-reviewed studies. I don't know if you guys know about peer review, but basically it's when a third party will present its case about what your product claims to do in front of a board of professional set-aside doctors, okay? And when that happens, it's kind of a litigation process. And this litigation process maybe lasts 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years. So you just understand, Mark has been working on this product for what, 10 years, almost 10 years. He's done all the research and science of it and finally has a method in which to market it, because the company he was building it for, they shelved it. It was too expensive, right? Now the technology has yielded a most amazing result, guys. This is just a pill you take, and what it does is it increases your IGF-1, which is insulin growth factor, whatever. All right, so 1. and basically what that does is it instills in your body to create more HGH. If you guys don't understand what HGH is, look at this, okay? Human growth hormone market. This is from 2014 and where they predict it to be by 2025. Idiopathic short Turner syndrome. Look at growth hormone deficiency, okay? What I'm trying to show you in this scale is look at the deficiency right there, the purple. As we grow to 2025, this is where they estimate the deficiency of HGH in the human marketplace, okay? Do you think there's not a demand for our product? There is a huge demand, okay? But if you want to know why, the movie stars don't ever age, they don't ever go anywhere, because believe it or not, they're doing injectables, okay? All right, we're getting an interruption again, another chat. What's going on? How many pills are taken per day? Okay, Denise, just so you know, depends on your age, depends on your sex and your weight, okay? So for a big, fat, tall dude like me, I'm probably gonna take between 5 and 7 pills a night, okay? And I know that seems crazy, and I even asked Mark, I said, why would I have to take so many? And he said, because this is a very serious product. And we want to make sure the dose is exact for you, okay? The last thing we want to do is put a blanket statement, take 1 pill a day, and have it affect only 5% of the market space. If you're a 105-pound female that's 22 years of age, you probably take 1. I don't know the formulations, but they will be on the bottle, okay? Remember, this is not a hormone you're consuming. It is it's a formulation of ingredients that kick on your own natural production of HGH, okay? HGH diminishes in production when you hit around 20, 22 years of age. Your maturing process stops and your aging process starts, okay? It is amazing what we're all going to feel, and I really, really, really can't wait to start consuming this product. So do you think we have pure products and amazing products? Peter Drucker on this test said, your product must be consumable. So do these products get consumed every day? Yep. He said it's category creating. We are the first precursor HGH in the market with peer-reviewed studies and with these patented ingredients. Number 3, it must be something that meets the trends of society, okay? What does that mean, to have a product meet trends? Well, I just showed you the trends of what HGH deficiencies look like by 2025. Also, I can share with you this. What are the New Year's resolutions of the United States right now? I mean, I know it's in other countries too, but think about USA Today. When they posted the New Year's resolutions this year for the 15th year in a row, the #1 New Year's resolution, guess what it was? Lose weight, get healthy. Number 2, change my financial position. He said you must have a business that's in front of those trends, that's going to push your product to the forefront of everybody's mind, heart, and desires, okay? We have a product that is going to be on the top tier of everybody's desire. Taka, I'm telling you right now, I drink 6 a day. I can't stop drinking this stuff because my eyes stopped burning. I've lost 22 pounds intermittent fasting with it. It's only 15 calories, and it has 0 caffeine. Guys, we put guarine in it. Guarine is a seed extract from a fruit, not a bean, right? There was some conflict on there. Let me explain what happens, and there's no sugar. So you don't have the carb cravings. And so believe it or not, it's actually an appetite suppressant because you're not craving the carbs. It's done some amazing things. I actually have a CEO from another network marketing company begging me for some more because he's intermittent fasting and he's had tremendous success with it. And he's very into athletics. So let me ask you this. Do we pass the test? Company, product, and trends. Absolutely, okay? People want to be young again. So the next thing I have to ask you is, what about timing, right? Well, let's ask, where are we on this S-curve? Where do you want to be? Do you want to be at the beginning or the end? When is it the best time to get involved in the business? The beginning or the end? When's the biggest risk? The beginning. So what we're doing here tonight is to try to illustrate to you, we've done all we can to mitigate the risk. Is there still risk? Absolutely. We can't tell the future, okay? There is no guarantee. But I can promise you this. I know a guy that got involved in Nu Skin in 1989, okay? He put 200 people in because the real estate, actually it was 1985, sorry. Real estate was on its way down. A house interest rate was 21%. And so he took his real estate office and dumped them into Nu Skin, okay? They built it up to 200 people over 18 months. He said what transpired after that, Jeremy, absolutely changed his life. Because Nu Skin hit this thing right here called momentum. And from 1989 to 1994, the company grew by 1,000% per year, okay? Think about this for a second. And his team went from 200 to over 400,000 people, yielding him a $250,000 check for the rest of his life. Now, it had nothing to do with him and his talents or his team. It had everything to do with when you put that talent to work in a leveraged situation, okay? You can invest in Apple now, but you're not going to get the gains if you would have invested in 2009. It's just business, right? Real estate's all about time, location, 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 but business is about timing, 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 okay? It's always about who you know and when you knew them. Next question I have is about compensation. So let's say we have company, we have trends, we're at the beginning of something great. The company's going to go to 10% with or without us. The question is, are we going to make something with it? Now, compensation's tricky because let's say Ray and I have a business together and we developed a big old chocolate pill, and this pill cures everything, right? And we go into business, we know we got the best product, we have the best company, we have capital, we are ready to go, and whatever anybody wants. If you're fat, you're skinny the next day by taking our pill. If you're bald, you have hair. If you're short, you're tall. If you want to win the lottery, guess what? You win the lottery, okay? Whatever you want, you take this pill, it happens. Are we going to sell the crap out of this pill? You bet. I come to Ray and I'm like, dude, we just sold freaking 100,000 units in one day. 60 bucks a pop, we're rich. And Ray looks at me with the death of, he says, you did what? And I'm like, what? And he goes, they cost 120 bucks a pill to make. How long are Ray and I in business? Even though we have the best idea and the concept and the pill and everything else. We're out of business before we start because there's no compensation. There's no profit margin. You guys, we've got to make money. The company has to make money. If the company doesn't make money and we don't make money, we're done before we start. I'm just talking straight business with you guys. I don't want to be missing one of these 5 components because if we do, we're part of the 90%. So let's figure out how do we make money, okay? So here's how it works. You're buying in for 500 bucks. I don't care. There's other options. You can get in for 50 bucks. You get no product. You can cut in for $250, but you're cutting yourself out of a $300 check. Why do that? Okay. My objective is to find the leaders right now. We're at a pre-launch state. The company hasn't yet officially opened until October. We're still testing out the commission plan. We're still putting things together. We're still adding to it. We're still launching this company in a pre-launch factor where everybody can get to know the ingredients in May. We're in March, guys. We're at the beginning of something amazing. So here you are. Let's say you buy $500. This example is for a $500 kit, and everybody duplicates what you do. You come in for 50 bucks, everybody's coming in for 50 bucks, and guess how much everybody makes? Zero. Okay, you gotta have volume. You can't buy a McDonald's and not expect to buy the hamburgers, right? So let's get started. What we're gonna do is you get involved, and you have Jan get in and Don get in. We want you get in, one on your left, one on your right, as fast as you humanly possibly can, okay? So what this will do is pay you, because you get 10% of whatever they buy. Well, they bought $500. Well, guess what? You're getting 50 bucks here, 50 bucks here. Guess what? You just made $100. You follow me? Now we're going to help Jan and Dawn do the same thing. So Jan gets her first and her second. Dawn gets his first and his second. That's going to make you an additional $25 to you. Jan makes her 50. Do you follow what's happening? It's called a coded bonus. This pays tons. So I'll just say tons. It pays a lot. So now you get $100. So 200 bucks here. But the crazy part is the company recognizes you as just not a team or not an ambassador, but a team builder. And a team builder, but then a team leader. Okay, so you advance in rank 3 times by just helping 6 people get involved in the right structure. That the company is going to add an additional $300 bonus to you if you complete this task within 21 days. You bought in for 500 bucks, you make 500 bucks. You pay your credit card off before it even accrues interest. Do you see how powerful this is? The neat thing is now you just advanced to a 20% income instead of 10. So a 20%. So now you enroll your third person, Pat. Pat makes you 20%. That's $100 there. Pat enrolls somebody. Instead of it being 25, now it's 50. Pat enrolls one person, you make $50 there. But because no one else is coded to a 20% yet, do you realize, actually, yeah, it is. Jan's coded to 20%. Never mind. But you realize you still make $150 here. Now you got Yuli over here. Yuli enrolls. You're going to make $100 for enrolling Yuli. That's your fourth enrollment. And Yuli gets her 2. That's another $100 for you. So you make 1, 2, 3, 50. Plus, if you did this within the first 21 days, addition, 300 bucks. So you make another $650 there. So in total, in this example right here, you've made $1,150. That's not bad in 21 days. How many people just want to make extra $500 a month? Well, it gets better, guys. As each one of those legs build out over time, do you realize there's going to be $1,000 purchased on this side and $1,000 purchased on that side of volume? And when that purchased volume goes through that tree, it comes up to you and it'll pay you in $100. So every time this leg or every time this leg pulls in $1,000 in volume, you're going to get paid $100 bucks. If you do this 10 times, there's a $1,000 check for you. Do you follow what happens here? Do it 10 times, you get paid $1,000 bucks in addition to what you just made over there. Okay? You can do this up to 30 times in a week, and the company's going to pay you $30,000 a week. Okay? This is just a simple way to eliminate strong leg versus weak leg. Let's go get it done. And it doesn't pay on a weekly. It pays on a weekly, but it doesn't qualify on a weekly. This qualifies when the 1,000 hits, period. Okay? I don't know if you guys realize that. You can do 2 or 3 or 4 cycles in a day. You get paid a $3,000 check the next week. Okay? Next, what I'd like to illustrate is then you take all this momentum you're creating on enrollment volume, and every time they reorder, because we have such great products, every month that they reorder, it drops into a unilevel. And that is your mainstay, and that's what we're building. And the biggest problem with unilevel behaviors, guys, is they are amazing retention machines. They are amazing product machines, but the problem with it is you don't make money up front. You make a $35 check your first month, and you worked your tail hiney off, and everybody says, don't worry, you'll make money in 18 months. But a lot of people can't afford to give 6 to 8 to 10 hours a week away to something that they're not going to get paid for a year and a half. Okay? So they recognize that. So all those bonuses I just explained to you are on the front end. What does that mean? They're recruited bonus checks, or they're all related to the recruiting volume. But what happens when people want to buy product over and over and over and over again? It gets placed in here. So let's give you an example. If you go in and recruit 5 people, okay? So you got Jan, you got Don, you got Pat, and you got Yuli, and then you got your 5th person in. This example is perfect math, guys. So you help 5 people buy a $50 auto ship, okay? On your first level, they're going to do $12.50 to you. You're like, woohoo! Now you understand the unilevel. But if you help those 5 get 5, now you got 25 buying 50 bucks. It's $62.50. You got 25 get 5 people. That's $125 on your 3rd level. That's $625 a month. Remember, you're still getting all those bonuses up front to help support and sustain the income of your distributors as you all build this long-lasting check. If you go all the way down 6 levels in depth, you're going to get paid 10% of 15,625 people. That's a $78,000 check, or if you add it all up together, 88 grand a month. That's in addition to the $30,000 a week you're making over there. We haven't even talked about the matching infinity or bonus pools yet. I'm not even going to talk about them. So what I have to ask you guys is simply this. Do you believe that we have a good company? Do you believe this is a good enough product? I think it's a phenomenal product. In fact, all of our products will be so good, they could be a standalone company. The trends support our products. The trends support our compensation plan, and the trends in the industry right now support our culture. This is the most important thing. There's so many hanky-panky crazy things going on that we're attracting the right people. And we're at the beginning with timing. Do we have a compensation plan? Do we make our profits? Guys, do you realize that 55 cents of every dollar goes to the comp plan? When this company's API senses a $1,000 block acquired for the company, whenever the company brings in $1,000, boom, it automates to our commission program or our commission account. And the company is what do you call it? Has committed, right? I'm speaking Spanish in my head, guys. Sorry about that. But they have committed that they're never going to build this company on our commission account. They're going to build it 100% on their 45% that they recover. You guys, I've never seen a company split 45-55 ever. Okay, so I can tell you right now how many that we have all of these 5 things in place. The question I have to ask you guys is, does this company look like a company that's going to go to, right, to stability? Is it going to be one of the 10%? Is it going to be successful? Absolutely. Okay. The only thing that it lacks is us, right? Are we in or are we out? Where do you play in this? And all we have to do is fill this in. Help me help you. Find one person on your left, one person on your right. Let's put their names in here. Find those 6 positions and let the people know, hey, you got 6 positions. Who's in first? Okay. And then we'll go and do it again. But let's get these people first, because whoever we put in after that gets placed underneath them. It's just that simple. So where do you go and how are you going to do it? So this thing I'd like to share with you guys in close is simply this. I'm excited about Globallee because I know where it's going. I'm excited about Globallee because I know it's a successful company and I know where it's going to be, and it's going to be something that we can all do together. We are at the very beginning of something bigger than us. And I'll end with this. We have a desire to help others, and not just our community, not our neighborhood, not just our family, but in the world. And we have an amazing opportunity to really do something special for a give back program that we're going to implement, a customer program that we're going to implement, and of course, a training circuit that every quarter, every month, and every year, we're all going to be able to get together, give each other hugs, tell our stories, meet our kids, have charitable organizations that we go and actually serve as project together. And you guys, we're at the beginning of something special. And my invite to you is get in, don't think about it. A $500 commitment. I gave you enough information to make your decision. The best thing you can do when you make phone calls tomorrow to tell people about it is to tell them that you're already in with or without them. People look for leaders, not for surveyors. And if you call people saying, you know what, hey, I'm looking at this, tell me what you think, they're going to tell you what you think. You don't want to know what they think. Let's let them know that you're already in. Tell them you're in, be a leader, right? Because if you tell people, hey, I'm thinking about something, I don't know if it's good or not, but I don't know. You might as well say, hey, I'm ashamed, I'm embarrassed, but please come and be embarrassed and ashamed with me and let's make money together. It's not going to work. And people might be getting laid off and you don't know it. The last thing you want to do is be insecure, be unsure about your decision, and then they're looking at an answer for their prayers and they keep looking because you're not the answer because you haven't made the decision. Got it? So thanks, guys, for getting on. I appreciate it. I know that there's a lot of questions out there. Please get with the person that brought you here. Get those questions answered. Look forward to meeting you in person. Get this team going, and let's get these markets woken up. There's less than 1,500 people in the business. I'd say there's less than 400 people actively building it. So welcome to the team. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. You're welcome.